Welcome to another walking tour, and today we're going from this station, Bond Street Station, down to Trafalgar Square. Now, interestingly, Bond Street Station isn't actually on Bond Street, it's on Oxford Street, the busiest shopping street in London. So let's take a walk along Oxford Street and head down towards Trafalgar Square. So on today's walk, we will be going from Oxford Street to Oxford Circus, down Regent Street to Piccadilly Circus, and then from Piccadilly Circus across to Leicester Square, and then from Leicester Square we'll head down to Trafalgar Square. So all in all, this should take us round about half an hour, I would imagine. So Oxford Street that I'm on now, as I just said, busiest shopping street in London. Still not pedestrianised. There's a lot of talk about pedestrianising it, making it closed to traffic, but as you can see, there are lots of buses and London taxis making their way up and down Oxford Street all the time. And I think the retailers are pushing back on it because in terms of access, it would be more difficult if you're not allowed to drive any vehicles along it. But Oxford Street's quite long. We're not going to go in the whole of Oxford Street. We're just going to go to Oxford Circus, which is around about halfway along Oxford Street. Most of the big stores are still here on Oxford Street. Lots and lots of tourists come, obviously, as everywhere in London. Now, a lot of stores have their flagship stores here. So we've got Zara, this is their big one in London. Abercrombie and Fitch, opposite ends of the price spectrum, I think, aren't they? Now, Bond Street that we've just come from, the tube station, there is actually a lot of very expensive shopping down in that region if you turn off Oxford Street. Oxford Street tends to be more high street stores. As you can see, not every shop on Oxford Street is successful. That one looks like it's going through refurbishment. Closed. I think it used to be Debenhams in the past. Now closed down. Nobody in there right now. Very expensive rents for the businesses on Oxford Street. So a lot of them struggle, I think, to make profit because it's so expensive. But it's seen as being somewhere that a lot of retailers want to actually have a store. So they'll pay that higher price just to be here. Maybe they are making a profit, I don't know. Now, John Lewis, one of the big department stores in the UK, they have this store over here on the left. It's obscured by the London bus at the moment. Big department store, many different levels to it. Similar to Macy's, I guess, in the US, and lots of other big department store brands. You can get anything you want in there if you're looking for clothing and home furnishings, those sorts of things. Mentioned before, but these new electric buses are very popular in the UK. So I'm not 100% sure that one is electric. Maybe the one I think the one in front is electric. That one sounds like it's diesel. So I think they're still introducing all the different electric buses. So not 100% yet. Certainly doesn't sound electric, that one. Whittard's, popular shop in the UK, sells mostly tea, some coffee as well, quite expensive. And then of course we've got ubiquitous McDonald's, which are everywhere in London and the UK and in the world. And they're allowed to have the golden arches on here. And some of the high streets in the UK, they don't have the golden arches. They have to tone it down a bit, seen as being a bit tacky, but you can see they've got the yellow sign on this one. So just coming up towards Oxford Circus now. Now, Oxford Circus is basically the interchange between Oxford Street and Regent Street. And the term circus dates back to the Victorian era, when the interchange of roads were referred to as circuses, when there were multiple roads joining a junction. And it's stuck in London, so we've got Oxford Circus, and Piccadilly Circus and Cambridge Circus, and there's probably some other circus. It's not the same as Billy Smart's circus, that's a completely different thing. There's no elephants or jugglers or acrobats at Oxford Circus. Well, there might be, but not that I'm aware of. We'll have a look when we get there. But yeah, basically, I'm just going to go to Oxford Circus here, which is where the Underground station is located. It's the next stop on the Central Line from Bond Street. I've just got off the Central Line. And I'm going to turn to the right onto Regent Street, which is another big shopping area. There's another bus. That one looks like it's 100% electric. So this is Oxford Circus. If you've wondered what it is, it's basically just a crossroads between Oxford Street and Regent Street. You can see Oxford Circus tube station is here. It's got entrances on all four sides of this junction, so you can come out whichever one you want. But we're going to head down Regent Street, which is this road to the right. Another major shopping road, another very busy road with lots of buses and taxis on similar theme. It's actually got a bus lane, cycle lane here as well. Line bikes and forest bikes and a few of the other electric bike firms, very popular in London now. If you want them to get around, it's another option. Very loud motorbike over here. Skin store opening summer 2026. You're interested in that sort of thing? There's the Apple store. Many Apple stores in London, but if you're in central London, you're looking to get your Apple device sorted out, then you can come to this store. Massive, as usual. So if you're interested in stores, famous one over there is Liberty's, which is the one with all of the Georgian black and white on there. You just about hear me over the sound of that motorbike. That can't be legal. Now, probably the most famous toy store in London, possibly in the world, is Hamleys. And Hamleys is located on Regent Street. It's on the left-hand side here as we're coming down, so it's on the opposite side of the road. It's an ambulance making lots of noise. You can see the flags for Hamleys on the left-hand side, the big red flags. Usually have quite nice displays in the window, depending on what time of year it is. If you've got kids, excited to go and have a look in the window at Hamleys. Looks like there's a whole lot of school kids standing outside Hamleys. The Puppet Company in the window today. So it's multiple floors. Hamleys goes, I think, 4 or 5 floors up. Very popular. You can spend a good couple of hours in there having a look at all the toys. They have lots of things on demonstration. Quite good fun if you've got small kids and you want them to do something that doesn't cost any money in London, go to Hamleys. Lululemon on the right. Famously, the guy who set that up, created the word, and made it up. He wanted to put 3 L's in it because he thought it sounded good, and I think it was going to be popular in Japan. Very expensive. You see the green man's on here at this set of pedestrian lights. There's lots of other different types of demonstrations of that in London now. So it's not just the green man. I think that was seen as being a bit sexist to just have the green man. So hopefully we'll come across some other examples. I'll point them out when we do. Gymshark on the right, huge shop. Tommy Hilfiger on the right, the American brand. And lots of brands have got their flagship stores either on Oxford Street or Regent Street. Regent Street also very popular for shopping. Not too busy at the moment, thankfully. It will get busier as we get towards Piccadilly Circus, which is just around this corner. You can see the Regent Street bends round to the left. You can see the curve in the building. And that takes us into Piccadilly Circus, which is another big interchange, but it's famous because it's got the billboards, so electronic billboards. These days didn't used to be. Back in the past, it was obviously just traditional billboards. There's an interesting street, Hedon Street on the left, which there's a few restaurants and bars, but famously it was in David Bowie, one of his albums. He's posing on that one. Is it Aladdin Sane? Someone can tell me. It's quite a cool place, actually, Hedon Street, because it's pedestrianised. There's no traffic allowed on it. There's quite a few bars and restaurants. Quite cool. So just coming on to the bottom curve of Regent Street now, Uniqlo, their big store in London here, Mulberry on the other side. Really nice architecture though, if you look at the buildings, very old, probably a couple of 100 years old, really nicely designed into the curve, some nice pillars, quite elaborate. The upper part of these buildings above where the retail units are located, so really quite a nice little walk this. And I like the fact that even though they've got scaffolding on the left-hand side here, they've done a very nice job of disguising that scaffolding. So they've actually put frontage. You can see that they've got some mock building front there on the boarding at the top level, and they put some grass in at the bottom, sort of fake grass, which maybe it's real grass actually. It might be one of these living walls. But yeah, it just makes it a bit more sympathetic to the environment. Looks quite good, sort of blends in quite nicely rather than just having all metal scaffolding, and also contains some of the noise. So quite a nice feature there in terms of the way they've done that. Quite like that. So just coming into Piccadilly Circus now. This is the junction that all these cars and buses are queuing for. Cafe Royale over on the left-hand side there. You can see the doorman standing in there. There's Peaky Blinders flat cap on. This unit's not occupied at the moment, but something exciting is coming soon. Wonder what it could be. So these are the billboards at Piccadilly Circus, constantly changing now because it's digital. It's interesting that people advertise here. I mean, who's paying much attention to these adverts? They're quite a nice tourist attraction, I guess, in the same way as they are at Times Square in the USA, in New York. But is anybody going to buy anything because they've seen an advert on Piccadilly Circus? I'm not sure. So this is the Underground, similar to Oxford Circus. There's lots of different exits to Piccadilly Circus Underground. And over there, we've got the landmark of Eros. So we will walk over there, have a look at Eros. So these are the billboards. What's going on today? I don't even know what half of these things are advertising. It's hard to tell. So we'll jump over. Got the traditional green man on these ones. But lots of different roads. Got Shaftesbury Avenue with there's loads of theatres going off that way. Got Piccadilly itself, that direction. We're going to go towards Leicester Square. So this is Eros, which used to have water in it. It was a real fountain back in the sort of 80s, 90s, noughties, but they've stopped putting water in it because people were constantly jumping in there and it was causing issues. So it's just a monument now, a statue. Got Cupid, Eros at the top. Symbol of love. And they've got Titanic, the Criterion Theatre, Criterion Restaurant as well, another exit to the Underground. We'll take a walk through to Leicester Square. We'll go past Hard Rock Cafe. On the right, you can see some more sympathetic boarding here, the way they've done the scaffolding, really quite nice. Sort of much better than just seeing the horrible scaffolding poles. Hard Rock Cafe used to be very popular. It's been in a different number of locations in London. This is where it is now. Coming on to Haymarket here, down to the right. We're going to go straight through to Leicester Square. Haymarket, a few theatres and restaurants and bars. So when I first moved to London, that was where I first started work. My first job was working down there on Haymarket. Five Guys, very popular these days. They're pretty much catching up with McDonald's in terms of being everywhere. Traditional London phone box, no phone in it, just a tourist attraction now. You can take your photo there. Raising Cane's coming soon. So if you're into Raising Cane's, that's where it's going to be. Somebody cleaning that phone box. Actually did have a phone in it, so you could make a call from there. Not sure who uses public phone boxes these days in London, apart from tourists for photo opportunities. So Leicester Square directly ahead of us. It's totally pedestrianised these days, so we'll have a walk around that. It's the place where the premieres of films take place in the UK, mostly. It's got the big cinemas on there. Used to have a lot more cinemas. I think there's 3 big cinemas on there today. 2 of them are Odeons. Used to have many more, but I think there's been a shakeout in the cinema world. M&M store, it's very popular with kids. A lot of people come there. It's got multi-stories, lots of different M&M's memorabilia. And then this statue here, which has got all of the bells on the top of it with the animatronic figurines, used to be in that building where the M&M's are. It was the Swiss clock, and it chimed on the hour. Doesn't look like it's chiming anymore. Maybe it does, I don't know. I'm not here on the hour. Opposite M&M's, Lego, big Lego store. So if you like M&M's and Lego, this is the place to come. So I'll have a quick walk around the square and then head down to Trafalgar Square. So Cineworld, one of the big cinemas on the left here. We'll walk through, and then we'll walk through this central plaza piece here. It's got lots of statues in it. See if we can name all the statues. There's a statue here. Let's see if you know what this one is. Pretty straightforward, I think. If you know anything about the UK, one of the most popular movies and book series is Harry Potter. So Cineworld, do get some premieres here. Red carpet will be laid out. Obviously nothing today. Quite a few casinos on Leicester Square as well these days. Didn't used to be. Now, just directly ahead of us is Vue Cinema, VUE. So I don't know whether there's any premieres take place there. The majority of the premieres that I'm aware of take place at this place, the Odeon. This is the biggest cinema on the square. Last time I came here, there was a big House of Dragons premiere that was teed up. So have a walk through this central section. There's quite a few statues on this square in the middle section. So let's see if we can pick them all up. We've got, over on this seat here, Paddington Bear. Very popular these days in the UK. A few movies with Paddington. And then further along the benches, sitting next to this lady here, it's Mr. Bean. In between those benches, one of the most popular figures from the silent movie days, Charlie Chaplin. I'll just take a quick walk around the outside to catch the other couple of statues around here. There's a famous movie from history, been remade these days. Mary Poppins with their bag. And down this outside we've got, is it Fred Astaire who's on this lamppost here? So this is, again, very old film, Singing in the Rain. And there's another one down in this corner. And then we'll wander through towards Trafalgar Square. So I'm not sure you'll be familiar with this one. It's not as easy. Looks a little bit like The Matrix, but it's not. It's actually from the movie Get Out, that one. A bit trickier if you haven't seen it. There's another big Odeon here, and quite a few hotels here as well. Now, if you're interested in theatre tickets, this is the place to come to. This is the official London Theatre ticket booth, and you can pick up discounted tickets on the day for performances. So if you want to go to the theatre tonight, come here, have a queue, see what they've got, and see what sort of deal you can get. Over there, Moon Underwater, which is a Wetherspoons pub on Leicester Square. Cheap beers in there. Now we're heading through towards Trafalgar Square now. So we're going down Irving Street, and we're quite close to Trafalgar Square itself. So almost at the end of this walk. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you did, then please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, Jamie Oliver, famous British chef, did have a lot of these Jamie's Italians back in the day. They all went bust. 2019, this is the one he's reopened. So it's a comeback for Jamie. So if you're interested in that, but I've been there. It's quite decent food and not too expensive. So I definitely recommend it. There's quite a lot of Italian restaurants here, all in one little section. Little Italy seems to be calling itself. Interested in Italian food, place to come. Here's the Garrick Theatre on the left, which has the producers on at the moment, Mel Brooks Producers musical. Yeah, multiple things on there all the time. Here's another big statue. Let's see who this one is. See if you can guess who it is. See if I can guess who it is. It's Henry Irving. Now, we've just been in Irving Street. I don't know who he is. It says born 1838, died 1905. Connected with the theatre in this country. So he's obviously to do with the theatres. And this is the National Portrait Gallery here. So if you're interested in going in there, there's thousands and thousands of portraits in there. Marilyn Monroe on at the moment. And now we're heading through towards Trafalgar Square itself. And Trafalgar Square, also pedestrianised, and usually what goes on at Trafalgar Square? Well, nothing much. There's 4 plinths. 3 of them are permanently filled, and one of them has rotation of different art on it. So we'll have a look at that. But it's also where a lot of the demonstrations in London, if there's any marches, they all tend to end up at Trafalgar Square. It's seen to be the sort of one of the focal points. Also during tournaments, sporting tournaments, they sometimes set up screens there. Sometimes they have gigs on Trafalgar Square. But usually there's not much going on in Trafalgar Square. There's just a whole lot of tourists. It used to be a really popular place to feed pigeons. So you would go down there and you could buy small pots of seed and feed the pigeons, and you could have pigeons standing on your head and on your arms and in your hands. There'd be literally thousands of pigeons everywhere. And then the council decided that that was a health hazard, and so they put a stop to it. So there's no feeding the pigeons officially anymore. So there's a lot less pigeons in Trafalgar Square today than there used to be. So just coming through to Trafalgar Square now. So the big thing in Trafalgar Square is Nelson's column. So Lord Nelson is a tribute to him. So he fought at the Battle of Waterloo. So we've got a street performer here, guy dancing and somebody playing a guitar, and then lots of people sitting around, hanging out. Now it looks like they're setting something up here, some sort of stage. Not usually like this. We'll wander down, hopefully we can get access, but it might be closed off. Not sure. There's the back of the National Gallery that we just went past, or the front of the National Gallery, in fact. No, so a bit more impressive, a bit more like a Colosseum. You can see the National Gallery says above it. So it looks like Trafalgar Square is closed off today. We can't get access to it. So you can see that they've got BMW Classics, London Symphony Orchestra setting something up for this. So it's all closed off. You can't get down there. So we can't go and see the 4 different things that are on the plinths, but we can walk around it. Just walk around it. But if you're coming to London, Trafalgar Square is very popular with tourists. It's quite a nice place to hang out. As you can see, the National Gallery is absolutely huge. It's got this new Sainsbury wing, and the supermarket Sainsbury obviously sponsored that. So pretty big, the National Gallery. Not my favourite gallery in London, but very popular. So have a walk around the front, we'll have a look at Nelson's column, and that'll be the end of the walking tour today. So this is the 4th plinth here. So this is the one that's not permanently filled. So they rotate it with different art pieces. This is a whole lot of masks. I'm not 100% sure what that is. I think I've seen it before. I can't remember what the masks relate to. But yeah, they rotate it. So every few months they'll put something different onto that square. Now you can see Trafalgar Square does have fountains, does have water. So you can jump in the fountain. They've got 2 different fountains, one on this side, one on the other side. It's a shame that we can't get close to it today because they're setting up for this orchestral performance. But you can get a feel for what it's like. Usually it's full of tourists, but everybody who's come can't get access today, so you can see they're all walking towards me, looking a bit unhappy that they can't get onto Trafalgar Square. So there's a big statue of Charles James Napier, General. And then we'll have a look at the two lions that are either side of Nelson's Column. Nelson's Column's pretty tall. Don't know exactly how tall it is. Pretty tall is pretty good description, I think. And these lines that are on the front of it are also fairly massive. So you can climb up here and get a photo when you come. It's quite good fun to do that sort of thing. Let's just have a look at these two lines. So there we go. It's a bit of a shame that it's been closed off today. I'll come back on another day when it won't be closed off. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. Hopefully you've enjoyed this walk all the way from Bond Street down to here at Trafalgar Square. Got Nelson's Column behind me. If you have done, then please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. I'll see you again on the next walk.